In this video, I'm going to show you the steps I took to get this RV ready to go on the road. Hey everyone, thanks for tuning into RV Life Swag. I'm really excited about getting this video out to you today because it's been a while since I've been able to do that. Reason being is that I've been bouncing back and forth between a couple RV parks and we've had some family emergencies to deal with, so that's kind of really been my focus and taken a lot of my time. So what I'm going to show you today is what it took for me to get the RV ready to relocate to a new RV park. So I've been staying in Vero Beach, Florida for the last 6 months, and that's because it's my hometown, it's where I grew up, and with all this COVID stuff, it just seemed like a good idea to kind of be here, be around family and whatnot. So my plan was to relocate to Sanford, Florida, which basically is part of the greater Orlando area, the greater Central Florida area. Now, for those of you who don't know, I lived and worked in that area for over 25 years, up until I sold my house and bought the RV. So initially my plan was to not stay in any one place for more than a couple months at a time. But since I sat here for over 6 months in Vero Beach, there were some things that I kind of let slide with the RV that maybe I'd been keeping up on had I been packing up and moving every couple months. And I'm going to go through some of that with you in this video. So whether you're just somebody who's thinking about getting into the RV lifestyle and you just want to see what it takes to pack up and relocate, or whether you're somebody like me who's a full-timer and you just want to take part in my pain and suffering, either way, I hope you enjoy this video.
What am I trying to say?
So please don't forget to like and subscribe below. Alright, so don't judge me. The RV is definitely kind of a mess here. That's sort of a result of the 6-month thing I was talking about before. I didn't really make an effort to put things into storage or anything like that, so things kind of piled up, and you know, some areas tended to become a bit of a catch-all. So the good news is I got everything put away. I got things tied down, like the computers and the TVs and the silverware and the dishes and all the things that rattle around and jiggle around when you're traveling. So my buddy Rick Sigler, who lives in North Carolina, shout out, new RV owner by the way, he made the analogy to me, and I never thought about this, that every time you drive your RV, it's like putting it through a little mini earthquake. Alright, so I've climbed up under the RV. Again, these are the bolts that hold it to the steering arm here. And then it mounts up there into that spring bracket. I don't know if you can see that or not. But anyway, what I think has happened, but I do remember when I actually installed this that this might be a problem, this might move, because I didn't feel in my heart that I tightened it up enough. So that's what we're fixing today. It's not on there that tight at all. Look at that, it's super easy. Yeah, that one's loose already. So, So because those U-bolts weren't tight, it felt like the steering stabilizer was actually sliding up and down that steering arm when I would turn the wheel, so it wasn't being very effective. And it would make a really loud clunk noise. Now, I will tell you, the steering stabilizer made a huge difference in the handling of the RV. It was so squirrely before I put this thing on. I mean, it's still squirrely, don't get me wrong, but it's manageable now. I mean, I'd say there's probably a 60% improvement at least. One of the other things I want to do is maybe adjust the sway bar, tighten that up a little bit. That's a project for another day. So probably one of the most important things you can do for your RV is make sure your tires are well taken care of. And that means checking your pressures, making sure there's no dry rot, that kind of thing. Now, do as I say, not as I do, because apparently sitting there for 6 months, I lost almost half the tire pressure in some of my tires. And that's not a good thing, and I will definitely not let that happen again. Another issue I have is on one of my rear dualies is that I can't get to the valve stem on the inside, so I have to remove the hubcap to get to that. So that adds extra time to the whole process. And I highly recommend get yourself an air compressor, or even a small one, because you're going to need it. So here's another do as I say, not as I do moment. You definitely should probably have somebody with you to help you load the car on the tow dolly, because it can be kind of nerve-wracking, especially by yourself. Especially this part. Pulling up on the ramp and, oh no, look, I got stuck. I didn't quite make it all the way. Uh-oh, where am I at? I don't know. I'm just going to go for it. One more little push. And... shoo! Didn't overdrive it. If you can, try to clone yourself. That helps a lot. And finally, we're on the road. So when I do this trip between Vero Beach and Sanford by car, it usually takes me about 2 hours. Obviously in the RV it's a bit slower, so I say it's usually about 2 hours and 45 minutes to 3 hours if I'm extra careful. All in all, it took about 3 days preparation to get to this point. Now, there were some sore muscles, a little bit of cursing, and a whole lot of sweating, but it was well worth it. And maybe it's just me, but I think it's pretty cool that I'm able to move my home from place to place. And here we are after 3 hours, finally arriving at the 12 Oaks RV Resort in Sanford. It's off of Highway 46 and I-4. Very nice people over there. As you can see, they were really helpful in getting me through the park to my spot, and the maintenance guy actually helped me back in, and he did a really good job of that. We got in there nice and straight, so. Thank you so much, guys, for checking out my video. I really hope you enjoyed it. And I'm going to beg you one more time to please like and subscribe below. That helps me out tremendously. And also, please go to www.rvlifeswag.com. There are some links to some RV stuff, and, you know, you might like it, you might not. Check it out, see what you think.